Disclaimer: the following video discusses real events which may be disturbing to some viewers. This story involves violence, so viewer discretion is advised. The video aims to raise awareness and promote safety around dangerous animals. All information has been researched and sourced from publicly available information, and while details are accurate, certain elements may be reconstructed for dramatic purposes. This story covers the tragic case of Jack Lis, a 10-year-old boy from Caerphilly, Wales, whose life was ended prematurely by a fatal dog attack. We'll delve into Jack's background, the dog owner's circumstances, and how the combination of an untrained dog and insufficient safety measures led to a tragedy. The episode will include lessons learned from this heartbreaking event to raise awareness about the importance of safety around dangerous animals. In the serene town of Caerphilly, where laughter echoed through the streets and families felt safe, an unimaginable tragedy was about to unfold. On a cold November day in 2021, the quiet streets of South Wales were shattered by a horrific crime that would leave a community in shock. This is the story of Jack Lis, a story of innocence, trust, and ultimately, a tragedy that shook all of Britain. Jack Lis was a 10-year-old boy with boundless energy and a friendly spirit. Described as a cheerful and loving child, Jack had a passion for life, his family, and his friends. He loved playing football and was known for his infectious laughter. Known for his love of playing with friends and his bright outlook on life, Jack was a beloved child in his community. He lived in Caerphilly, a close-knit town where everyone knew each other, and children were often seen running around without worry. But for Jack, an ordinary day would take an unexpected and tragic turn. One day, a new pet entered the neighborhood, a large dog known as a Bully XL. The dog's owner, who we'll call Tom for privacy, wasn't fully aware of the potential risk involved with such a breed. The Bully XL was powerful and energetic, traits that demand experienced handling and training. Unfortunately, Tom was unprepared. Reports say the dog exhibited aggressive tendencies and was not properly trained, but in Caerphilly, a quiet town, few anticipated the severity of the risks. While the Bully XL breed is not always aggressive by nature, any large, powerful animal poses unique challenges and demands responsible handling. As it turns out, this dog had a history of aggression, but previous incidents were either downplayed or ignored. Tragically, no interventions occurred, and the dog continued to pose a risk to anyone around. Without the proper training and guidance, a dog of this size and strength was like a loaded weapon, left without safety measures. November 8, 2021, Jack was visiting a friend's house, playing and enjoying what should have been a carefree day. The excitement of childhood filled the air, and for a moment, it seemed as if all his troubles had faded away. Unbeknownst to him, the powerful dog was loose in the home. In a tragic twist of fate, the dog turned its aggression toward Jack. Unable to escape, the 10-year-old became the target of a fatal attack that would last a few horrifying minutes. The attack was both rapid and violent. Despite the neighbor's frantic attempts to help, it was too late. The dog's strength made it nearly impossible. Witnesses described a chaotic scene as the dog lunged at him. Emergency services were called, and paramedics arrived quickly, yet they were ultimately unable to save Jack. This loss left a scar on the entire community, especially for those who witnessed the horrific event firsthand. Caerphilly would never forget that tragic day. This tragic incident raised critical questions about the responsibilities of pet ownership and the safety measures in place for children. The town was devastated. Jack's family, friends, and neighbors were in shock, struggling to comprehend how such a tragedy could happen in their community. The story quickly made national headlines, sparking intense debate over dangerous dog breeds and the responsibilities of dog owners. Britain was united in grief, and the public began calling for stricter laws surrounding the ownership of dangerous breeds, hoping to prevent future tragedies. Jack's tragic death became a catalyst for change. Vigils and rallies were held to honor his memory, with the community speaking out about the need for stricter laws surrounding dangerous dogs. Parents, animal advocates, and lawmakers rallied together, calling for legislation to protect other children from similar fates. The public pressure was felt across the country, and lawmakers faced growing demands to prevent this type of tragedy from happening again. The news of Jack's death sent ripples through the community, sparking outrage and grief. Vigils were held and conversations about child safety, pet ownership, and neglect became crucial topics of discussion. Jack's story became a rallying cry for change as his community united to demand accountability and reform. As the community mourned, advocates emerged, calling for systemic changes in child welfare policies and pet ownership laws. Experts emphasized the need for education on responsible pet ownership and the importance of early intervention for at-risk children. Jack's tragic story serves as a stark reminder of the need for vigilance and responsibility. Following the attack, authorities took immediate action. The dog was put down, and the owner faced legal consequences for neglecting to control an animal with a known history of aggression. This case ignited a push for policy changes, with advocates pushing for stricter regulations on dangerous breeds and mandatory training for owners. The aftermath of Jack's death led to an investigation and subsequent legal proceedings. The dog's owner faced serious charges of negligence. Although the charges couldn't undo the harm done, the legal consequences aimed to bring a sense of justice for Jack's family. This case reignited a debate about accountability in pet ownership and prompted calls for stricter regulations to ensure the safety of children in the community. And the responsibility of pet ownership includes accountability for any harm that may occur under an owner's watch. In response to Jack's tragedy, calls for stricter, dangerous dog laws grew louder. Efforts were made to regulate specific breeds more closely, with proposals for mandatory training courses, behavioral assessments, and stricter licensing requirements. These measures aim to ensure that owners of potentially dangerous dogs understand the risks and responsibilities involved, helping to protect future generations from similar tragedies. The outcry surrounding Jack's death prompted a nationwide reflection on the responsibilities that come with dog ownership. News outlets featured experts discussing the specific needs of powerful breeds, stressing the importance of training, socialization, and understanding a dog's potential for aggression. The message was clear. Owning a large, powerful dog requires more than just good intentions. It requires commitment, knowledge, and a deep responsibility for public safety. The loss of Jack Lis serves as a heartbreaking reminder of the importance of responsible pet ownership, especially for large, powerful breeds. It's crucial to understand the temperament, training, and environment needed for certain dogs, and for communities to speak up if an animal poses a risk. We remember Jack as a bright, happy child, and through his memory, we hope that more lives can be safeguarded through awareness and responsibility. Although the pain of Jack's loss will never truly fade, the community of Caerphilly has come together to honor his memory. Memorials and fundraisers were held to support the family, and many families have become more vigilant around powerful dogs, prioritizing safety for their children. The tragic case of Jack Lis has forever impacted the town, serving as a sobering reminder to remain cautious and responsible in all aspects of animal ownership. In response to Jack's death, local organizations began to implement community initiatives designed to educate families about the responsibilities of pet ownership and the importance of recognizing signs of neglect in children. Workshops were held to foster dialogue between parents, children, and local authorities, aiming to create safer environments for everyone. Experts weighed in on the psychological ramifications of such tragedies. They noted that communities often struggle with feelings of guilt and helplessness when incidents like this occur. The importance of open communication and support networks was emphasized, highlighting how collective efforts can lead to positive change. Jack's story sparked a larger conversation about the need for legislative changes regarding child protection laws and animal control policies. Activists rallied for stricter penalties for negligent pet owners and better resources for families in crisis. This ongoing fight for justice and safety became a movement, fueled by Jack's memory. Friends and family members reflected on the profound impact Jack had on their lives. They shared stories of his kindness, humor, and zest for life, emphasizing how his absence left a void that can never be filled. Their heartfelt tributes serve as a reminder that every child's life is precious and deserving of protection. Following Jack's tragic death, many began to scrutinize the role of social services in his life. Questions arose about the effectiveness of interventions that had been made in the past. Advocates for reform emphasized the need for a more proactive approach to identify and support at-risk children, ensuring that no child falls through the cracks. In the wake of this tragedy, Jack Lis became a symbol of the urgent need for change. His legacy lives on through the initiatives launched in his name, focusing on child safety, community responsibility, and the humane treatment of animals. Memorials and campaigns began to spring up across the country, advocating for better protective measures for children in similar situations. Jack Lis's death should be remembered as not just as a victim, but as a catalyst for change. Together, we can advocate for a safer environment for all children and ensure that tragedies like this never happen again. If you or someone you know is struggling with similar issues, please reach out for help. Change starts with awareness. Jack's case ignited a national conversation about child safety and animal control. News outlets and community forums became hotbeds for discussion, with parents, lawmakers, and advocacy groups coming together to address the systemic failures that allowed such a tragedy to occur. The dialogue focused on the need for better laws to protect vulnerable children and stricter regulations for pet ownership. In the midst of this tragedy, Jack's mother became a powerful voice for change. She shared her heart-wrenching experiences, emphasizing the struggles she faced while trying to provide a safe and loving home for her son. Her calls for reform resonated deeply with the public, shining a light on the urgent need for support systems for families in crisis. The cry of his mother in the community was heard, and new policies were proposed to prevent a similar tragedy from occurring again. In memory of Jack, annual events were established to honor his life and legacy. These gatherings provided a platform for community members to come together, share stories, and raise awareness about child safety. They also served as a reminder of the collective responsibility to protect the most vulnerable among us. The public outcry led to tangible changes in legislation. Lawmakers began to propose new bills aimed at enhancing child protection laws and regulating pet ownership more strictly. Advocacy groups worked tirelessly to ensure that Jack's story was not forgotten, pushing for laws that would prevent similar tragedies in the future. Jack's story had a ripple effect, inspiring communities across the country to reassess their own child safety measures and animal control policies. Schools began implementing programs that taught children about safety around pets, while parents were encouraged to engage in open discussions about their responsibilities as caregivers. Educational campaigns sprang up in schools, focusing on the importance of recognizing signs of neglect and abuse, both in children and animals. These programs aim to empower children and educate parents about the resources available to them, fostering a culture of vigilance and care within communities. As the community reflected on the changes initiated by Jack's story, it became clear that awareness was only the first step. Community leaders emphasized the need for continued collaboration between families, schools, and local authorities to ensure that the lessons learned from this tragedy would lead to lasting change. While Jack's life was tragically cut short, his memory serves as a catalyst for ongoing change. As communities come together to create safer environments for children and promote responsible pet ownership, Jack's legacy lives on. It reminds us that every child deserves a chance to grow up in a safe and nurturing environment. Jack Lis's story is a heartbreaking reminder that we must always prioritize safety, especially when it comes to animals with the potential for harm. His tragic story also is a reminder of the importance of ensuring the safety of our communities. His memory serves as a beacon for increased awareness, compassion, and responsible ownership. Let us remember Jack and honor him by ensuring that no family endures such pain again. In his memory, let's work together to raise awareness and promote safer environments for our children. Jack's tragic story serves as a stark reminder of the need for improved child welfare systems and responsible pet ownership. It highlights the importance of community vigilance and the responsibility that comes with caring for both children and animals. The lessons learned from this tragedy should inspire action and awareness, ensuring that no child suffers from neglect and violence. Pet ownership is a responsibility that demands knowledge and preparation, especially with large or strong breeds. Every breed has unique needs, and knowing these can prevent tragedies. Community awareness is crucial. Reporting signs of potential danger in animals helps authorities take preventive action before it's too late. Parents and guardians should educate their children on safety around dogs, even in familiar environments, as untrained or stressed dogs can react unpredictably. And lastly, there's a need for stronger, enforceable laws on dangerous dog breeds to ensure owners are capable of handling them responsibly. We thank you for watching and remembering Jack Lis. By sharing his story, we can help prevent similar tragedies and promote a safer, more informed approach to animal care. Please take a moment to share this video, leave a tribute in the comments, and join us in raising awareness about responsible pet ownership and child safety around animals. If you have any crime story you will like out to share, drop us a comment. You never can tell, your story might be the next on our screen. Thank you for watching. If you found this story impactful, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and work towards a future where every child can feel safe and loved.